following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. 55 and welcome to our NXT 2.0 review. I am the host with the most tonight. I am the host on the West Coast. Whatever else Carl says. I don't fucking know, man. But we're here tonight. We're reviewing NXT 2.0. We're in a great mood because this show is fucking great. What say you guys? How are we all doing tonight?
Yeah, we're right, mate.
I'm doing good.
That
It
was
was
funny.
a good show. It was a good show.
Yeah,
it's great.
jolly good. Yeah.
But we're not gonna.
Jolly good.
We won't dive too much into what we think just yet. I'm just excited to just get into this thing. You know, I was reluctant to watch NXT. I wasn't too sure when I first saw them put out the logo. I was just like, nah.
Nah.
But you know what?
It was getting rave reviews, right? Rave
Yeah.
reviews and people requesting us to cover it. So we're doing it.
That's right. We're doing it. We have put the knife right through the heart of Rampage at this point.
Savage.
And we have twisted it, and we want our Saturdays back. So we're taking our Saturdays back. Well, you guys are taking your Saturdays back. You know, I did fuck all. But here we are, boys. WWE NXT 2.0 from the 5th of October. What a show.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Kick things off. Toxic Attraction.
Oh my God, bro.
What a hot start. If you're going to talk about hot shotting a fucking show, that's a good way to do it. Huge pop for Mandy, you know, as she was coming out. Let's start with you, DJ. I'm going to give you the floor on this one. What do you think?
Look, I think that these three as a unit are tremendous. I think that obviously they're all gorgeous. They're all very attractive. But, you know, Mandy Rose especially also just has that presence on. I felt like they all had a bit of a presence and that they sort of had a nice, like it kind of felt like these three women actually are like really good friends with each other. And that was kind of really coming across on screen. So, yeah, I really like this combination.
Absolutely great, my friend. What are you laughing at, Carl?
It's so funny how DJ's trying to explain how he likes them. What lighting situation there. DJ, you know, I think they're tremendous, a tremendous unit. You know, it looks like they're all very good friends. And let's just say what really happened. Okay, when they came out, the three of us were like, for Christ's sake, oh my God. Like immediately, just like, man, like I can't get on with my day properly now because this has been burned into my eyes from the get-go. It's like, what a way to start the show.
Oh my
So
God.
DJ's being nice about it, talking about, I think no, DJ was horned up when they came out. Okay, we all were.
Come on, guys.
Unbelievable, man. I'm telling you, three absolutely gorgeous women right there. And yes, a tremendous grouping, I must say.
Continue, DJ, unless you were finished.
No, that
Were you
was
finished?
all. That
That was all? All right, Carl, go be explicit.
DJ tiptoeing around it.
He doesn't want to get cancelled.
It's all right to say that someone's sexy, bro.
Yeah, you're allowed to. It's we're in the 21st century. You know, women are sexy. They want to be called sexy. They want to free the nip, for fuck's sake. That's not on us. That's on them. They want to free the nip.
I want to free the nip.
I want to free the nip.
Yeah.
Free it, man. It's in jail.
So a match did take place, didn't it?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have any notes on the match. I've just, these three are fucking hot. That's my first fucking line on this on my notes here. These three are fucking hot, and hot is in bold with a full stop on the end. That's what I think. These three are a fucking absolutely great unit together. I love seeing them. Great name together as well as a stable, the Toxic Attraction.
Yeah.
After you guys did see this first match, though, what did you think of like the aesthetic of the arena? It's very different from the yellow and black NXT. Were you guys happy with the setup and the stage?
DJ?
Yeah. I actually thought, at times I felt like the multicolor was maybe a little much here and there, but overall I actually liked the setup and the actual structure and everything like that of the new set.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's all right. It's all right. It's nice, but it's so, it's so WWE squeaky clean and perfect with great, and that's fine. That's what they're not going to put out anything that's low rent, which is fair enough. But man, sometimes I miss it being real gritty and,
just
darker lighting and,
just the classic tunnel with the wooden logo around it, like that was a great look as well.
Or a big rusty cemetery fence with the WWF logo fucking engraved on that shit. Like, fuck, man. I will say though, I love the glass barricades, but now I can see what all the Virgins are wearing on their feet. So that's not also so good. But no, this was a good showing for Manny, and Emma looked okay too. Great first impression for NXT. But moving on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I do want to add one more thing. I just want to say I was very impressed with Mandy's how much she's improved as an in-ring performer. I thought she was it's just solid out there. So just wanted to point that out. She's really, even since WrestleMania, she's improved since then.
Hell yeah, man. I agree. Like I was, when you guys were talking about like her improving, I was just like, but she's always been okay, hasn't she? But then you see her now and it's just like, okay, she kind of looks what she's doing. I went back and watched a match of hers, about an hour ago when I was watching some KFC. I watched a match of her and Dana Brooke, taking on some fucking tag team on Raw like in 2019 or something. And I see it. So I agree now. But moving forward, we have Odyssey Jones and LA Knight. If someone said Odyssey Jones is Mark Henry 2.0, and I thought that was fair. That was a great point. Carl, we'll start with you for this one.
Sure, bro. And I also wanted to just throw out there that I was impressed with Mr. Santos Escobar and his group.
Oh, that's it. Yes. That's the segment I missed. Yeah. That was
all right,
impressive. Bro. You said he was a better version of Andrade.
Well, I mean, I like Andrade. I think he's cool, but I don't know. I like this guy's style too. They're very similar. Let's just say that. But you want to talk about Odyssey Jones and LA Knight. I haven't really got a lot to say. I thought I've already seen a bit of LA Knight from obviously him being Eli Drake, but everyone out there, you have to understand, I am not really aware of a lot of the people that were on this show. So I'm learning about them for the first time, like an Odyssey Jones. But I knew of LA Knight as well because the only thing I kept up with on him was his feud with Cameron Grimes with Ted DiBiase being involved. I thought that was all good stuff. So I was really impressed, with the match. I thought Jones looked awesome. And the detail with the finish there, I think his name's Andre Chase. He came out, he got yocked, and then as the leg went underneath the rope, I just like how he quickly just knocked that away and hid. So that was a nice detail with the finish, and enjoyable.
Very nice. DJ, chime in here, my friend.
Yeah, look, I felt like, obviously, LA Knight, he's always been tremendous. I thought he did another great job of highlighting Odyssey Jones' strength, and I thought Odyssey Jones looked great. He's a hell of an athlete. He has charisma. That's why we say Mark Henry 2.0, because this guy's a legit athlete, but he also has this natural charisma that just seems to be there, that's waiting to come out to the surface, much like Mark Henry in his early career. So I really do see the parallel there, because Mark Henry always just had that natural charisma as well, paired with that tremendous athleticism. And Odyssey Jones, very similar situation here. Excited to see where he goes. I liked the fact that LA Knight, as the crafty veteran, actually picked up the win, though. I liked that we saw a heel actually cheat to win a match. Keeps Odyssey Jones looking good, and it makes LA Knight look quite good as well. So
that was a sick neck breaker.
Absolutely.
Neck breaker.
And it was just a standard neck breaker as well, like a jumping neck breaker. And that is what a good performer can do. They can elevate even the most basic move and make it look amazing. And, overall, I'd give this match probably a B-.
Nice. Very fucking nice. I enjoyed this match. This is my first viewing of LA Knight in a hot minute. I believe I'd probably seen a few matches of his in TNA. I probably also watched him. Was he on Power in 2019? Because he seems familiar from around that time as well. Yeah. Again, I want to put a add on to that neck breaker. It was fucking sick, and I'm glad that was pretty much the finish. Andre Chase is a cocksucker, but Moving his feet from under the rope, man. Such a great touch. And you know what? I'm probably going to end up saying this a lot today, but he reminds me of Chris Nowinski a little bit. Probably just because they share the same fucking gimmick. Moving on with the Cameron Grimes backstage segment. The first thing we noticed was Mackenzie Mitchell, though.
Oh my god, bro!
Oh my god!
How can anyone concentrate?
This was my first time seeing anything of Cameron Grimes. I've heard a lot about him. I love it. I love him. DJ, do you have anything to add to this segment? Or are you?
I thought it was great. I'm giving this one a B- as well. I'm a fan of Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes.
God, man, she's so hot, bro. It's like when you've almost forgot that was an Ember Moon match earlier. It's like when these ladies show up on the screen. It's like Will Smith and Men in Black just doing that memory eraser. Like you have a hard time remembering everything that happened because you're too busy with perverted thoughts. So
fucking hell. We had
Nothing
wrong. Moving forward, we had Tommaso Ciampa make his entrance. We thought it was Taz at first, and I got excited, and then I was disappointed.
Why would it be Taz? He's not even in the company.
No, I know, but like, it's just the music. The music sounded exactly like it, man. And I'm not that familiar with Tommaso Ciampa either. And then we went to commercial break. And then we went into a different backstage segment. So this show flows a bit differently to what I'm used to already. And I kind of liked it a little bit. It feels a bit more natural. Like it gives Tommaso time to make his entrance, then it cuts backstage, where something else is obviously happening in real time simultaneously as his entrance is happening. It makes it feel less pre-taped and like it's actually real. Came out of Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly backstage. Just the name Von. Whatever. So then we had Tommaso come back out and he addresses the NXT universe. So Tommaso asks who's got the balls to take the title from him. And here he comes, boys.
Yeah, bro.
Carl, take it from here, mate. What did you reckon?
He is the nephew of the big bad booted daddy. And he me a freak. As soon as he starts talking, man, come on. We're all just, it doesn't matter what he says. It's just hilarious. It's amazing.
Tommaso Ciampa!
It's
Tommaso,
so fucking good.
I got the balls to take you on for the NXT title.
That's fucking great stuff, man. Like, how can you not? Anytime that guy's going to open his mouth, everyone's going to be like, here we go. Here we go. So, yeah, I'm keen and I definitely would like to see what takes place at Halloween Havoc.
Oh, by the way, we're talking about Bron Breakker. Because we didn't actually mention his name.
Bron Breakker.
Bron Breakker, the son of Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner, who looks like an amalgamation of both Steiners, came out to the ring looking jacked, looking like he was having the time of his life, threw down the challenge, as we just said, Tommaso! And there we have it. At Halloween Havoc, it's going to be Bron Breakker versus Tommaso Ciampa for the title. And Tommaso kind of bores me a bit. So, I wouldn't even mind seeing Tommaso lose. It's not going to happen, but still, I'm excited about this match that they've announced. I'd give this whole segment C-.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see him fucking, see what they do here with him. I wouldn't mind seeing him get the belt this early, but at the same time, I'm just like, keyword is just early. But at the same time, like, he can talk, and from what I guess we've seen, he can wrestle.
Well, we didn't see anything. He didn't do it.
No, but we've seen clips on the internet, DJ. The internet exists.
Oh man.
In case you didn't know. I've seen clips of him anyway. I don't know about you, DJ. But from what I've seen, he can wrestle. So it feels like when he's talking, it's like Scott on a dub track. And as Carl said earlier today, at Halloween Havoc, being said by Steiner in 2021, like just
it
blew your mind a bit.
Oh, it's fucking awesome, man.
But yes, no. Moving forward, we went into a Joe Gacy. That's how you say his name, Joe Gacy promo. Where he's backstage. Not much to really say there. It was just a standard little thing, but it was a good little introduction to him.
Character building. I like it. Character building. Very good.
There was a lot of character building on this show. I think that we're going to have a common theme on this video where we're going to be saying, Yeah, cool. And that's just because there's just so much, stuff that we're trying to take in from these, new wrestlers that are being introduced to. DJ, have anything else to that?
Yeah, I'm actually interested to see where this whole inclusive kind of like disingenuous social justice gimmick that Joe Gacy has going on. Be interested to see where it goes. There's kind of like this undercurrent of malevolence underneath it when he's saying all of this virtue signaling and all of this social justice stuff. You get the sense that he doesn't mean it. So yeah, it's an intriguing gimmick. It's topical. It's something that's relevant to today's times. Good to see an actual character like that that's kind of trying to reflect society back at itself. Haven't seen that in WWE for a while.
Yeah, we haven't. Then we had Indy Hardwell. I can't remember who the other chick's name was. Does anyone remember?
Persia Parada. That was Persia
I can't even
Parada.
remember. I can't even remember the segment.
Well, all these names are so weird.
Okay,
man.
so I'll fill in. So
Persia, fuck off.
So Indy Hardwell and Persia Parada were basically walking backstage. Indy said that Dexter Loomis, her new husband, and her went through 4 packs, obviously referring to condoms. And then Persia said, so like, how many is he? And she goes, I heard 7. And then Indy goes 9.5. And then they kind of laugh. So they're kind of bantering back and forth as Aussie chicks do, talk a little bit.
Going on about the size of someone's dick, yeah.
Yep, typical. It was quite funny as well, with the authentic accents and stuff like that. Australian talent, like, they're always just great at comedic stuff like this. Anyway, as the girls are chattering along, they happen to walk in through this door, and inside there was some weird Japanese kabuki ceremony going on, and they were immediately screamed at in chat. There was candles and smoke and some weird altar in there, and then but we didn't see much of it, the audience, and then they screamed some obscenity in Japanese and slammed the door in their face, and that was the end of that. So decent segment, C- again.
Nice. Yeah, so up next we had that Ikemen Jara. So
let's just go with that. Yeah.
The crazy yellow jacket that kind of grew on me by the end of the match, just by how ridiculous it fucking was.
It annoyed me in the beginning, then by the end I was popping for it.
Yeah, it was just so silly, man. I like it. But he took on Joe Gacy. I realized that Joe Gacy is a 3-time CZW champion. That is pure. And at this point as well, I also noticed that everyone on the show has a character and has a gimmick. They are just wrestler. And if they are wrestler, they got a hell of a lot of charisma, like Bron Breakker. Yeah, Carl, what do you reckon of this match?
Yeah, no, good point there with the characters, bro. And like Bron Breakker, like that, he's already a character, so you don't need to make him into a thing, which is that's the power of being a Steiner. But yeah, the match was good. Joe Gacy got over. I liked his shenanigans. Yeah, good win for him.
Nice. DJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed the match as well. I actually thought that Jiro and Joe Gacy both did really well in their respective roles. Jiro obviously is the enhancement talent, but he maximized his time on TV. Like, he made the most of his chance to get himself over and kind of, entertain the crowd and get a little, get a bit of a reaction for himself. And that's what a good wrestler does. And I like that. Joe Gacy as well. I liked his style. I liked that there's this whole kind of like sportsmanship thing going on throughout the match. And yet it's contrasted with him being like, really quite vicious in the ring in terms of what he's actually doing. Really interested to see where this will go. Obviously, Gacy got the win with, with his finishing move, and yeah, decent little match. I'm going to give it a C- again.
DJ, I'm sorry to chime in here. I just thought of something. Isn't it interesting how we've gone through a couple of matches here already, and our notes aren't like the notes with AEW.
They're so short.
Like I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, man, when we talk about these matches, I've got nothing to really say because they're not doing anything in the matches that are pissing me off, you know? There's nothing that I need to bring up.
Yeah.
The referees aren't noticeable. Like, I wanted to bring that up. The referees are doing their job to the point so well that you don't even notice that they're there, whereas in AEW, you notice that they're there because they're not doing their job properly. They're not asserting themselves. I think Aubrey Edwards is a good referee, but for most of them, and I don't want to keep bringing up AEW here, but this is the reason why we're doing this show is because we're sick of Rampage, and Dynamite last week fucked me off more than anything that's fucked me off in a long time. If anyone out there's seen that, you can see me nearly have a nervous breakdown.
And
I just think it's interesting to bring that up, that I can, it was a good match, and they did this, did that, and I liked it.
And everybody has, like, as Jack said, you know, and we might as well address it here so we don't have to keep repeating it. Like, you know, the thing about everyone having a distinct character is, like, previously a lot of NXT talent were known for their in-ring stuff and their stuff on the indies and everything like that. And for a long time, NXT was just kind of its own indie promotion that was ran under the auspices of WWE. This NXT 2.0 reboot that's been going on since September 15th now, and we're watching it for the first time here in about week 3, it's feels like it's gone back to being more of a developmental territory or product, but at the same time, it feels like it's kind of a taping of Raw from the Manhattan Center during that early era. You know, it's kind of smaller, but it's still glitzy. It's still with cameras. They still have to hit their time cues. It's still a production, but it's not so big like the other NXT was, where a lot of these people don't have to use their charisma and everything. And then when they get to the main roster, creative has nothing for them because they can't put them into the zany storylines and stuff that they like to do on the main roster. These people that we saw all throughout this show, I could easily see any of them being on SmackDown or Raw without them having to make significant changes to the character. And you couldn't say that about the crop of NXT talent from like 2 or 3 years previous.
Yeah.
They're all from fucking Ring of Honor. Fucking very astute points there, boys. This felt like a very fresh slap in the face just for wrestling in general. I don't know if it was the aesthetic or what it was, or if it was fucking Vince having his grubby fingerprints all over it.
It's just going back to
back to basics, man.
Yes, like the way that they used to do it, you know, like the show is an advertisement for something that you want people to pay for, which is the network, which is watching Takeover Halloween Havoc.
Which we are going to watch.
That's what TV's for, you know, it's an advertisement for the pay-per-view. Yeah. It's to get characters over and promote the big things that you want people to actually fork out money for, because this is going on usually free-to-air television. So there's going back to basics, which is, you know, it's a nice way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's this show really, I have seen comparisons online that this feels like it can somewhat be like a early 90s fucking studio wrestling show. I don't know, man. It's just there's so much character development, and it's just fresh because I now came out of this show with a very good idea of a bunch of wrestlers that coming into this show I'd never seen before in my life. Yeah, and I also came out of this show. Actually, this is going to be a bit early to bring this up, but vignettes fucking helped so much with getting a certain someone over that by the time their match was on, he didn't even have to fucking wrestle. He already loved him. Like, he didn't have to take a bump, but we're going to save that.
Let's wait.
Yeah. But up next,
let's wait. We've got to come. We've got to wait to come, bro.
No, yeah.
That was just a bit of pre-game. But up next, we had Duke Hudson.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Fucking amazing vignette of him with the poker shit. He should still be Tony Modra. You know, fuck you to the real Tony Modra for having
us. Yeah, fuck it. Come on, Tony.
He would have made you more relevant than you'd ever been since the 97 GF. Fuck, man. What do we think, boys? It's fucking great to see a fucking other Aussie up there, right?
Yeah, mate.
Duke's poker room.
Absolutely.
No, I'm gonna find a little something.
Like, you know, one thing I want to say is I noticed that there are many Australians on this program, and they all had fairly prominent roles, and I thought they all knocked it out of the park. There's just something that the Aussies have about being able to come across a lot more natural in how they're interpreting the material that they're given. And I'm not just saying that they're automatically better than everyone else, but I'm just saying on this episode, I felt like the Australian performers were really, just firing on all cylinders, and that was nice to see. The Duke Hudson vignette of him in his Duke's poker room talking about how he, equating like the mind games you play in poker to the kind of mental strategizing of a wrestling match.
Great verbiage, bro.
Yeah. This was really cool. This was really kind of, it's interesting. It's something that they can do something with storyline wise and go zanier if they want, or they can treat it really seriously. And it's going to be a great character to kind of shift between different roles on the show for Duke Hudson. So I'm excited. I'm going to give this vignette an A-.
Yeah, I popped from winking. I thought that was that was really good. I don't know what Jack's looking for here. It must be poker related.
Here he comes. No,
you can't find it.
No.
I will tell you what it was a Elliot Sexton shirt from 2012, so it's a bit of a relic now. I'm sure by the time
holy shit.
I'm sure by the time he's a megastar, that'll go for millions, all right?
So while you were gone, I gave the vignette an A-, Jack.
Hey man, I'm a fucking scum fuck. I'm wearing AirPods. I can walk around the house and still listen, unlike you. Yeah, fucking.
Hear us talking shit about you when you're not in your room.
Yeah, I did actually. No, good on fucking Duke Hudson for finding success after all these years. He deserves it. He looks great, and he fucking needs a machine. So we got up next Cora Jade taking on Virginia Ferry. Oh wait, Frankie Monet came and fucked up Virginia Ferry and turned the match into Frankie Monet taking it on Cora Jade. Cora Jade. What do we think of this one, boys? DJ, I'm going to start with you for this one. What do you reckon?
I was really impressed with Frankie Monet. I think she has a big upside. I can definitely see her like kind of in the main event against, the likes of Charlotte and people like that on the main roster. So yeah, excited about her. Cora Jade, was pretty cool. I think she's still going to need some more time, before she's going to be like quite on that upper level, but she's decent. I would have given this match overall probably a C+, and I thought Frankie Monet did a tremendous job of like putting over Cora Jade in the upset win. We were all shocked by it. We didn't expect Frankie Monet to lose this match, so that was really good, and I don't think it hurt Frankie Monet in any way as a character. So yeah, C+. Like, this was decent.
Yeah, and I'll follow that up with also enjoying it. It's nice when you get surprised. It's nice when not everything's a foregone conclusion like you see on another show, when there's a more well-known name against somebody who's not as well-known and you know who's going to go over. So this was kind of like a 1, 2, 3 kid moment with that victory roll, which I thought was, a tremendous spot. And Frankie really sold the shock of the loss very well, and Cora sold the, celebrating of the victory quite well. And gotta love, Robert Stone, formerly known as Robbie E, running into the ring, losing it, going out of his mind because she lost a match. That's a great thing about wrestling. It's like when things are exaggerated, it's really cool. So yeah. Again, nothing offensive here, nothing incredible, but now I already know more about Frankie Monet than I did beforehand, and now I actually know Cora Jade exists, and I think she's cool and hot.
Nice. Yep. Same boat there, boys. I don't really have much to add. Was not expecting the finish. Every single time, the same fucking thing that you guys say every week, when you talk about Dynamite, is FG. Sorry. FC. Foregone conclusions.
Yes.
And we were expecting Frankie Monet to easily go over. Easy, any day of the week. All of us. And then no, it was not to be. Not on this show. Not on fucking Wednesdays. Just fucking great. But moving on, we had the MSK interview backstage. That one that turned into a massive brawl, and all the referees actually jumped in there, tried to break it all up. I don't think we're gonna have too much to say. They turned the match into elimination. And yeah. Anything to add, boys?
It's good to see shit like utilized in the backstage area.
Yeah. And of course, they had to throw someone into some noisy fucking garage door.
The only complaint I do have is that sometimes it annoys me when someone's being interviewed, and then again, it's like this cookie cutter thing. Okay, so we'll have this person do an interview, and then they'll be interrupted in 10 seconds, 15 seconds. It happens every week on Dynamite, so I can't let NXT get away with it here today. This is a cut and paste segment that seems to happen on wrestling quite a lot, and I'd like to challenge any wrestling company out there to come up with ways of creating conflict backstage that do not implement an interview being interrupted 10 seconds in, for, let's say 6 months. Let's put you to the test. 6 months, that doesn't happen. Let's see what you come up with. That would be interesting as far as I'm concerned. But other than that, cool.
Cool. No more Tommaso Ciampa on this show. More of him. But here comes Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy is sick. Kind of got himself involved in this little thing going on between Ciampa and Braun, where he managed to say if he can beat Ciampa next week, he will be added to the match at Halloween Havoc. I don't really want to see.
I don't either. I want this. I want a showdown between the two guys. Yeah.
Just a one-on-one, because if we know it's a three-way, we know Ciampa's going to be retaining. He would not be losing it in that three-way. I feel like it's also time for Ciampa to just fucking move on. I don't know the go here though. So no one attack me. I don't know. I don't understand why he's been around for so long. He's been in NXT since 2014, something like that.
I heard something about he reckons his body couldn't hold up to a full-time schedule on the main roster, and like he just thinks like if he goes to the main roster, his body won't hold up. I heard something like that. Like I also think with the thing with Joe Gacy, I don't expect him to actually end up beating Ciampa and getting himself interjected into the match as a triple threat. But I do think that the match next week between him and Tommaso Ciampa will kind of be like a test for Joe Gacy, and they'll see what the chemistry is like between those two. And if it's a great match, then I think we'll probably see Joe Gacy get a title shot in the near future.
Yeah, and one other thing I wanted to add was that it's also a good thing putting stakes on a match next week. So there's like, instead of just a match for match's sake, it's good to have stakes. And also wanted to put over the fact that this happened a few times in the show. And again, back to AEW, they don't do this. People actually are still in the building after the first segment that they're in, and they can show up within the show later on, which happened with the tag teams. It happened with hey T, how you doing, Tone? It happened with Indy and Persia. It happened with a whole bunch of people.
It's Persia Parada, okay?
Whatever, it's cool.
Prince
I'll get it
Persia,
one day.
whatever.
But I like the fact that they're not forgetting about the fact that the people are still in the building. And people aren't relegated to their one little segment on every show, and then you never see or hear from them for the rest of the show. They're threading shit through the show. It's not rocket science. It's fucking easy. And they showed it right here.
Yep. Pretty much. Good
Very
shit.
astute.
Very astute. But next, we did have a match that we didn't actually pay too much attention to because we're just talking so much shit. But it's Pete Dunne versus Cameron Grimes, man. We know that, both guys can work.
Yep.
I do want to point out the Cameron Grimes fucking soccer kick to the head of Pete Dunne on the apron was fucking awesome. And that popped us big. That kind of brought us right back into the match. But what did you guys think? DJ, you want to start? You know what? Actually, no. DJ, go. No, Carl, you start.
Very good match. We knew it was going to be a good match. Probably the best one on the show, I'd say. I would say it's probably, in my opinion, best match on the show. I'd never seen a Pete Dunne match before. I'd seen a Cameron Grimes match before, though. I think he's very entertaining, and the former Trevor Lee. So I think he's going to go places in NXT 2.0. Pete Dunne, though, I need to learn a little bit more about him, I guess. The bruiserweight. as they call him. But yeah, you know, it was a good match, and not really much else to add. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
can't really think of anything.
DJ, you want to add some shit to this? Get
Yeah.
something to mix into it?
Well, there's not really a lot to say. I
I
thought
got
this was a good, like a solid technical match, probably a B-. And yeah, I thought both guys looked good coming out of this.
And Kyle O'Reilly and he came out, didn't he? And he got yocked, and then Von Wagner came out to check on him, and now these two are going to take on Pete and his mate next week. So and for those at home, Von Wagner is the son of Mr. Wayne Bloom.
So we
who will
have
hopefully
like
surface and like an interview.
So we have kind of an unlikely, reluctant team forming between Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly. Once again, that's an actual interesting way to get into a tag team. Not just like, oh, we had a match against each other and now we're going to be a team, or not just like, oh, it's a random lottery. Like, no, Von Wagner decided to come down to the ring on a couple of occasions, help Kyle O'Reilly. Earlier in the show, we saw Kyle say like, hey, you know, I appreciate that you helped me and everything like that, but dude, I don't really play well with others. Let me handle my own business, you know, don't keep getting in my way. Obviously, Von Wagner did not listen to that, and we have an unlikely team with the two of them forming. So
does that remind us of someone on a certain SmackDown Shut Your Mouth? Maven. It's just someone he just really wants a friend, maybe that's Von Wagner's.
Yeah, it did come across like that. It was like I was sort of sitting there when they
desperate
first,
for a friend.
like, so you got Kyle O'Reilly here on the right, and he's a bit shorter, so he's down here. And then you got Von Wagner up here, and Von Wagner's kind of looking over at it, like looming over him. He's going, man, you know what? I helped you because whatever. And it's like, dude, why are you trying to get so close to him? Why are you so desperate? Out of all people, why Kyle O'Reilly? So I think we're going to see down the line, Von Wagner, what his true motivations are, but we're going to have to let that unfold over the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Nice. Sorry, the TV is so distracting, Carl.
No.
Okay. Up next are the Hit Row. Oh my God, Hit Row vignette. I got nothing to say about it because I'm just going to say AJ probably shouldn't have done the fucking Most Wanted Treasures show if he wants to do a gimmick like that. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that it's 2021 and we should give up on kayfabe, but no, kayfabe still exists in my eyes. Fuck you. Do you have anything to add to this one, DJ? What did you think of Hit Row?
This vignette sucked. This didn't really do a good job to highlight who everybody is, and didn't really do the best job of showcasing the group, unlike the Diamond Mine vignette that we'll get to later. This vignette, though, with the Hit Row, I'm giving it a D-, my lowest rating of anything so far on this show, unfortunately.
Carl?
Yeah, sorry. Someone inside the house has decided that now, nearly 10 p.m. at night, it's time to be listening to John Farnham really loudly.
That's a great time, man. Fuck yeah, fucking yeah, keep it up then.
What are we talking about? Hit Row?
Hit Row.
The Hit Row vignette.
I'd rather be listening to John Farnham than watch that fucking vignette again.
No, I don't know. It's just boring.
Not a fan.
I don't know. I'm tired of how many people have the same kind of gimmick going at the moment.
I'm sick of hip hop and wrestling. I'm sorry if this upsets
I've had enough of it too, man. I've had enough.
Tired. And it was never cool. It was never, ever, not for a fucking single day.
It was cool. You know what? It was cool when New Jack came out and it was blaring and he's beating the shit out of people. But the bling bling fucking
A Crime Time was cool.
Yeah, they're cool, you know, but they you know.
But that was 2007, you know, like times change. Like in 2007, in 2007, that was when hip hop was just starting to break into the real mainstream. And so it was really relevant then. I don't know if it's as relevant now. Hip hop's just so ubiquitous with with culture these days.
Ubiquitous.
So yeah, I agree. It's kind of is oversaturated in wrestling.
It's so
it's so ubiquitous, guys.
Do you know what ubiquitous means?
No.
Educate us, Mr.
Johnston.
Ubiquitous means basically that it's just common in the culture.
Why don't you just say common then?
Well, because I didn't, I'm not going to dumb myself down. Fuck this.
Look at this. Check out the big brains on.
Oh man, of all movies, like that's where you go. Like,
Dude, I don't know who you think you are, but you're trying to prove to everyone that you're not like a ubiquitous person. You know what I mean?
Those are some astute points right there. That's very astute.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
All right, let's continue.
So
we
debut
were
of the
kinda
year up next.
Oh yeah. All right.
Hey, T, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, T.
Hey, T.
So you had T, Tony Angelo, taking on Malik Blade. Malik Blade. Who the?
It was Malachi Blade.
It was Malik.
Malik
Malik.
Blade. Who did you say it was a mix of, DJ? It was a mix of fucking Elix Skipper and...
Oh, yeah. I said Malik Blade reminded me of a kind of a blend between Elix Skipper and Kenny King in terms of the style.
Kenny King, that was it.
In terms of the style and body type. He kind of had Elix Skipper's body type and some.
He had like Elix Skipper's skull. Like it's the same kind of shape as Elix's skull. For some reason, Elix's skull is.
Yeah, and he kind of had the speed of Elix Skipper, but then he also had the athleticism, some of the athleticism of a Kenny King with his jumps and stuff. So.
Well, look, here's the point I wanted to make earlier, right?
Here we go.
Tony D'Angelo is already fucking big time over with me, and he didn't even need to take a fucking bump because of vignettes that I watched on fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
That were on their TV show, mind you. But they went ahead and they put these on YouTube. So the rest of us who don't want to watch their weekly television show can still see what's happening and still get, the gist of what's happening and the gist of who's coming and the gist of who's going to debut. We had weeks and weeks of these Tony D'Angelo segments, and my God, who wants to go first on this one? This whole just the match was great. It was a great first showing for Tony D'Angelo, and I love the Velvet Trackies. Sorry, I kind of actually just stole this one from you guys, but I just love Tony D'Angelo that fucking much.
That's fine.
And he's got a great finisher too. He takes a move that usually looks pretty, and he actually ends up lifting him out of it and turning it into a pin as well. And the little fucking fisherman buster,
the spinning fisherman buster. Yeah, it was great, man.
Great. Yeah.
How can you not want to be pumped up about this character? Everyone loves the Sopranos. Everyone loves those Italian type characters. We haven't had one in a while, not since maybe Enzo was, I guess, a little bit like that, but he's more like kind of like New York, Brooklyn. Tony's totally way more like Italian. And, I haven't seen it since Lil Guido and Johnny the Bull and Chuck Palumbo. So it's cool to have that character, that kind of character back in wrestling. And, good point that you made there about vignettes, Jack. I remember the story of Val Venus's debut and how it was 6-7 weeks of these vignettes. He's a porn star. He's in the tub with Jenna Jameson. He's making all these innuendos and cutting all these promos. And when he made his debut, the crowd went fucking crazy when his music played. It's just like, for someone's debut, no one's seen him wrestle before. It's proof that it works. And how many years later is it now? And it's proof that it still works. And you have all these guys from NXT go to the main roster cold, whether it's a debut in a Rumble, and expecting people to know who they are. They're not, because not everyone watches NXT. So the art form of the vignette is important, and the proof is in the pudding here, boys. What a great match. What a great debut for him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just a fucking great showing. DJ, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, so obviously, I think the difference between, say, the FBI and Tony D'Angelo is that, much like how we talked about with hip-hop, this character of Tony D'Angelo is clearly made to capitalize on the like the movie television idea of a mafioso, rather than they're not explicitly even saying like this guy's a mobster. They're just almost saying that he's immersed in that kind of world, though, and they have
Yeah.
specific. So it's an interesting take on it. It's kind of different because, you know, they obviously know that kayfabe's quite dead these days, so they haven't bothered to kind of say that he's in the mob or anything like that. They've just kept away from mentioning that. But he's obviously embodying a lot of those mannerisms and a lot of that stereotype. And you know what? The guy also has a legitimate amateur wrestling background, so he was fantastic in the ring. That pedigree of the wrestling, like, immediately backs up the character work, because you got this character that can be kind of goofy and funny, but now this guy can also get it done in the ring because he has that legitimate background and stuff. The guy was interacting with the crowd. He was using his voice in his vignettes. You could tell that he was interested in his facial expressions, and like, definitely he's still learning, but I think that the character's just going to be fantastic. And I thought this whole thing was fantastic. The Northern Light suplex, holding on, picking him back up into the spinning Fisherman Buster. I actually could just do with the spinning Fisherman Buster on its own without the Northern Lights. I kind of felt like the Northern Lights was a bit slow for my liking, rather than if he just hooked him and did the move straight away. But it definitely, the finishing move should be called Sleeping with the Fishermans, if they know what's good for him.
That's fantastic, dude.
So yeah, I'm giving this a B+.
A B plus.
Also,
very nice.
I wanted to add, as DJ was alluding to, it's rare now that you see a young wrestler stay in character the whole match, because he's wrestling and he's remembering all the things that they got to do. Obviously, they've mapped out what they're going to do, but the character, you don't lose the character, and that's one thing that I think he did really well here, and I think it's a 5-star performance from him in his debut to just be on it constantly in the character, constantly making the comments. He wouldn't stop talking.
The crowd loved
perfect.
it. The crowd
It's
loved
true to
it.
real life. An Italian would be trash talking. Come on, who the fuck is this guy?
Hey,
huh?
Come on, now, give me a break.
Fuck. He didn't say fuck.
No, but seriously, like the crowd was so into this guy, man. I don't know if he was supposed to be coming across as a heel, but the crowd treated him as a baby face, man.
Impossible to be a heel.
Yeah, they loved it, man. They loved it. It's because it's everything that you love about the character of Tony Soprano, except this guy's not a murderer. He's just a wrestler. So you're free to love the shit out of him as much as you want. You know?
I can't wait till they get some hired goons, bro.
Oh man.
God,
He's gonna have to get some two like guys in the jumpsuits backing him up. That's got to be in the cards, you know.
You know what, Carl? You should mention your idea, you know, that you had.
Bringing back Little Guido to
Yeah.
Johnny the Bull. I mean, Johnny the Bull doesn't need to go back there because he's got a very good job now. But you know, and Chuck Palumbo is very busy right now as well. But you know, I don't know. Guido's still doing indies and stuff. Like, why not? He could be like the Italian MVP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like fucking hell, man. I'll probably, dude. If they had Little Guido paired with this guy, he'd be my favorite.
He'll be
fuck, man. It'll be great. I don't know why they don't do this. Just do these things just to appease us fans, please. Like I know it's like, oh, why would we bring him back? He was just a cruiserweight champion in ECW. No, he's sick.
Out of so many of us.
Little Guido Maritato. And guys, let me say this: if he's going to be the Italian MVP, he would be known as the LCN, La Cosa Nostra, bitch.
Man, I don't even want to get off this match, because the next match was just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Just how sick is Tony D'Angelo? Like,
man.
I'm not moving from this topic.
Hey T, how you doing, Tom?
Hey T, how you doing?
You try to tell us to move on.
Forget about
I want to give this a shout out. Wade Barrett was fantastic on commentary.
Oh, great, yeah.
He's talking about he's been working with his family's waste management business for the last few years. Of course he's in waste management.
And also because of Wade Barrett's expert knowledge, we found out that he was actually an All-American amateur wrestler as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tony D'Angelo. So we know he's a fucking badass in real life.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll finally move on.
We have
The
to
trick,
move on, unfortunately.
the trick mellow segment. I mean, that's
Hey,
just what
T.
they were calling each other. Hey T, how you doing? It was just one of
Rick and
these
Carmelo, right? Yeah.
Carmelo and Trick,
Mhm.
Getting interviewed by
Mackenzie
what
Mitchell.
stuff?
Yeah.
Blondie. Yeah, no, I got nothing to say on this one.
Nah, yeah.
DJ, no?
This wasn't great. This wasn't great.
Like I thought we'd already seen this. I thought don't we already have the Street Profits? And it's like a weaker version of them without the gift of the gab.
And we've already got fucking, private party on.
Yeah, they might get better. Who knows? But
Mhm.
think of something different for them.
I just want someone in wrestling that does hip hop just a little differently. I don't know, like why they all go for the same aesthetic. Anyway, I'm not going on to that rant again. We had that Meiyeng versus Indy Hardwell match.
Weird.
Fucking weird, man. She wrestles. Meiyeng wrestles like she's like in the 1950s.
You know what? Because I was complaining when the match first started, but I gotta say, I like the fact that she was committed enough to the character to be like, you know what? I don't think this character would do any of this wrestling shit. I think she would just be. So you know what? I actually don't mind that. I'm gonna give some extra credit for the fact that that was a real character piece, a great look, a good presence. I think children would be scared of that. You know, that's a perfect villain for like somebody like a a Becky Lynch to go up against, or a Bailey, like a babyface Bailey to go up against. You know. So
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but I guess it's like, yeah.
No, you go.
No, you go.
It was just like it was interesting because you're right, DJ. It was like a character piece kind of thing there, but she looks like a little horror character. But I just thought it was weird that she like could kind of no selling things, and then just like that, she just loses, and then she sits up kind of like the Undertaker afterward, and I'm like, well, are you really kind of like a phenom? Are you really kind of like a character that could be no selling because you just kind of like just lost a match from a springboard fucking elbow drop or whatever the fuck it was? I don't know. I just thought like, how can a character be kind of like almost invincible in a certain way? I mean, and then so simply be able to lose. I don't know if this is the way to introduce a character like this to people, just having them be able to lose a match willy-nilly, but maybe they're going somewhere else with it eventually, and I'm just preemptively being critical.
I like the character, man. Like I'm a big horror fan, so I like the character. I like the look. It reminds me of Samara Morgan without the white dress.
it's like a J horror thing, man.
She's cool, and I'm curious, but I just want to see a little more. But you're right, man. Like a character like that would not wrestle like a professional wrestler. Moving forward, we have this Lash Legends segment. She needs Lash LaRue with her, just starting that off.
Yeah.
And then we saw our favorite again. He was in the room. He showed up. DJ, Carl, what do you guys think of this one? We're going to start with you, Carl. What do you reckon?
We've already got a Naomi. We've already got a Bianca Belair. We've already got that chick that's in that that other group. What are they called?
Hit
Row. I don't know where she's going to fit in. She's kind of like the same as a few other different characters. So I don't know, but this is the first time I've seen anything of her, and I'm not big on characters that go on about social media and shit. You know, whatever. Like fuck, man. Like,
we don't care about social media and professional wrestling.
Yeah, like is she supposed to be one of these like an influencer? Is that the type of character she's going for?
Yeah, I guess.
If so, then okay, I can't wait to see you suffer.
I'm sorry, but like everyone who is a professional wrestler and has like, more than 10,000 followers on Instagram could probably consider themselves an influencer. I mean, you don't need 1 million followers to be one. You're still influencing, all these fucking people, but enough of that shit. I think like it's just a lot of these some of these gimmicks, man, like they're just very copy and paste from yes, proven to work sort of gimmicks from other people in the main roster, like a Bianca Belair or what have you. But it's just like, can we not, switch it up, or like, can we not put yourself in the shoes of a wrestler? What would a professional wrestler be like outside of, their profession? Why is some? I don't want to get too deep here and end up going in a fucking circle and drive myself and everyone listening to this crazy. But it's just, I don't know, man. I just think a lot of these copy and paste segments could just, not segments, copy and paste gimmicks could just use a little bit of a bit of spice, just do something different. I'm begging for it. Just
not every black girl needs to be a sassy kind of.
No, I know.
There's got to be something, like Sasha Banks does it too. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be something else that a black woman can be all about. Exactly. They can't all be the same because every white guy is different. It's just, I don't know.
And it's just, it's the same with,
like, at least Ember Moon's a bit different, you know what I mean?
Ember Moon, she's a bit different. Yeah,
she's doing something different. It is possible.
You just look at the males have such of the same problem really fucking badly. Street Profits, Private Party, Hit Row. That fucking, what's the one that we were just looking at before? What are they called? Trick Mellow. That's it.
Yeah, and then you've got like Costa and Anthony Bowens and people like that. It's a very similar kind of like, that's what we're saying when we say the same. Like, it's a very similar type of gimmick. It's basically the same character. Like, imagine if you had John Cena.
Oh my God. MSK are really bad for it too. MSK are awful for it.
Like you couldn't have had Brock Lesnar around at the exact same time as you fucking had, I don't know, fucking Brock. I don't know, man. It's just weird. It's almost as if they have like 5 Mick Foleys. Like, Mick Foley wouldn't be special if they had 4 other people besides him doing a very similar character of this disturbed, depraved guy that's into violence. Like, this is kind of similar. All these guys, there's 4 or 5 different people doing this kind of bling bling hustler, influencer type gimmick. Like, Leo Rush just had a vignette on the last AEW doing the similar kind of thing again. So, I don't understand why people can't be more original with their ideas. Like,
I don't get it either, dude.
Not everyone can be like the Hurt Business, Not everyone's going to be them. Like, the Hurt Business is the Hurt Business. I don't think everyone should try and take their lead off of them.
Yeah, like the Hurt Business makes an effort to be different because they're fucking badass. They don't try to use materialistic shit as a fucking gimmick. They just
wear fucking suits, bro. They're kicking ass. They wear suits. They look sharp. That's it.
They just that's it. There's nothing else to it.
Don't forget, in the Hurt Business's case, they've got the credibility as well. While Bobby Lashley and MVP cut their teeth in the Ruthless Aggression era, MVP is obviously very accomplished. So is Bobby Lashley, especially in his second run. Shelton Benjamin, half of Team Angle, Intercontinental Champion, 3 pinfall victories over Triple H. All of these guys, with the possible exception of Cedric Alexander, already had like quite the pedigree when they formed this group. Cedric Alexander had already been the Cruiserweight champion by that point as well. So it gives them this extra cachet that it's like, okay, they've got a reason to carry themselves like that, But some of these characters doing the same thing on NXT, it's like, who are you? Why should we believe that you're so important and that you're such a big deal?
Yeah, I'm so fucking sick of people just popping up out of the blue being like, I'm so rich, I'm so important. Okay, why and how? Okay, why should I care?
Yeah, what's your backing story that makes you different from the other one that just did it 15 minutes ago?
Yeah, it's just fucking infuriating.
I don't know what's going on, but it gives me another thing. Do you guys remember when MVP first debuted on TV? There was like weeks of vignettes of MVP where he was showing how rich he was, and like Theodore Long would be on the phone to him in the office, like having fierce negotiations over contract and money.
Because he was kind of like the character out of Jerry Maguire, right?
Yeah, he was like a pro athlete that was like this highly sought after free agent, And then they put this extra thing on it where when he finally did come out, he kind of had this ostentatious football type entrance and this really goofy looking bodysuit. And everyone was like, oh, this guy's not going to be that great after all that build up. Then he got into the ring and the bell rang and he savagely fucking beat the shit out of the guy. And everyone realized like this cunt's ruthless. So like that's the kind of way that there needs to be more to establish a character like this rather than just them saying, oh, I'm such a badass and I'm so rich and such a big deal. That doesn't work. You got to do things to show the audience why that is.
Yep, exactly, man.
You got it.
But we'll move forward once and for all. We had this Diamond Mine segment. Great team, actually. I was surprised to see this even concept exists, but now I'm starting to feel like there's a lot of associations in NXT. Like everyone is almost connected. Is there anyone here that's really a lone wolf yet? Tommaso Ciampa?
No, yeah, there's quite a few people on there that don't have any associated faction. So
yeah, fair point.
We
Yeah,
saw
I
a
don't know
lot
what
of
the fuck I'm
tag
talking
teams
about.
and shit tonight. But yeah, there's a lot of fucking.
Hey, it's not like
I don't know.
AEW where there's like
it's
20
not,
stables.
Yeah,
So.
it's not as bad as AEW by a long shot, man. AEW, there's no one that's not in a stable or friends with us.
Maybe it just feels overwhelming because I just don't know who the fuck anyone is yet. Yeah. But yeah, no. What did you guys think of the Diamond Line segment? I'll start with you, DJ, on this one. Did you enjoy it? You popped for Roddy Strong,
dude. A+. Like that's how you build a faction. They had the manager come on there. He had a clear, strong voice. He didn't spend any time on the promo putting himself over. He went through every member of the group one by one and like highlighted, here's who they are, here's their attributes, here's their backstory, this is why they're here, this is why they're going to kick ass. And then you hear a little bit from that person, you know, the one woman that's the MMA fighter and the fitness competitor and stuff. She was saying how, you know, like she's found a group that is going to help her unlock her potential. And then the other people were saying like what the group's going to do for them. So this is a situation now where they've established to the audience, like, here's what the group members get out of being in the Diamond Mine. Here's what the manager gets as a benefit of managing the Diamond Mine. It's currently an arrangement that's working for all the characters. You know who everybody is. There are definitely a lot of places they can go because they've firmly established who each member of the Diamond Mine is, with Roderick Strong currently being the leader. So yeah, I love this. I'm giving this an A-.
Very nice. Carl, what do you think?
Yeah, very cool. This is what you got to do. You got to teach us about who each person is and why we should care, and that should be the bare basics of any new thing that's taking place. Like, and when you don't do that, then you do a disservice to that talent. So they're doing the right thing here, and it blows my mind that they can do something on their developmental show, going back to basics, knowing what works, doing it, and then on their main shows, it's a fucking mess. I don't get that. Within the same company, it's like there's so much red tape on Raw and SmackDown on the main roster that they can't just keep it simple like they do with NXT 2.0.
Yeah. It's just...
And you know what's funny, guys? You know what's funny? I don't mean to change the subject too much, but I've been complaining all day about the barking dog who's finally calmed down across the road, and I've been muting myself all over the place because a fucking helicopter kept on flying over my fucking roof. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to let you guys know why I keep looking around. But Jack, back to you.
Got fucking aliens, man. So moving forward, this Raquel Gonzalez promo, I think that's her name, Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel. She came out and started immediately trashing our girl Mandy.
Oh boy, big mistake.
And Mandy comes out, man, with toxic attraction. Oh man. However, I do have a very, very, very bad gripe, but it's not with any of the girls. It's with those fucking fans.
Mm-hmm.
Chanting what? Up to every single line
she handled it, though.
She handled it fine. You know, she bit back at the fans very hard. You know, say them again. I can't remember what she said. Like, say them again one more time if you love Mandy Rose or something like that.
She said, like, say what again one more time if I'm the sexiest woman alive.
That's right. Yep. And I mean, I would say what again? I would say what all day of the week, every day of the week, if she said that out loud. Yeah, no, this is another great little showing for Mandy. I think she's fucking great on NXT. I'm happy with her wherever she is, man, as long as she's on TV and getting screen time. What did you think of this one, Carl?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to the significant other.
So no Mandy Rose talk then.
About John Farnham, but yeah, I kind of was listening to what you were saying, kind of like you mentioned the what chance, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck me dead, man. How many years has it been? Why do fans do this? Why do they do it? Because they did it at AEW the other day with Dan Lambert and the Men of the Year, and they fucking handled that really well. Like Ethan Page just kept on talking, going from one thing to the next, not giving a gap, which was what made them fucking give up. But I don't know why fans fucking do it, man. Like, because then she said something which made them kind of like shut the fuck up a little bit, but people were still trying to do it and trying to get it over.
It's so annoying.
And it makes me think like if I was in that crowd next to people that were doing it, I would turn to them and give them a fucking look and be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, not the time and place for it. It's 2021. Austin hasn't been on TV for fucking over 10 years, you know?
There are people that go to those shows and chant that shit that weren't even born when Stone Cold Steve Austin invented that fucking chant.
It's just like, it's enough already, man. I don't know what's wrong with some of these fans, you know? Like, they're so embarrassing sometimes to be associated with. And it's one of the things that I think is one of the worst things about wrestling. Like, they actively try and hijack segments and throw the performers off. For what reason? What you don't like? Do you not like Mandy Rose? Why is that? Is it because she's a hot girl? You don't like hot girls? What's wrong with you? Shut up and let her talk. She's trying to do a fucking thing. She's trying to show like I can give fuck. Throw me down in NXT. I'll fucking get something over. And look what she's doing. She's killing it. These three girls are killing it. There's one episode I've seen of them, and I'm really impressed. You know, so it's just like irritating that fans just can't seem to just fucking enjoy the show. And it's fine. The heels, cool. Boo the heels, but enough with the what chance. It has no place. And then the tag champs make the save. Let's hope that at some point, Toxic Attraction have all three belts.
Let's fucking hope, man. I almost want the Thunderdome to come back because of these fucking fans. Almost. DJ, what do you think of this one? I don't know if I've asked you.
Yeah, it was all right. C-.
Fair enough.
But again, it's nice that people were on the show back up.
Right,
they haven't left the building yet. Like, you can thread things through a show, build things up. Fucking AEW. Look, it's easy. Keep going.
So before we had the main event, we are getting there. We had this Kyle O'Reilly little backstage segment. I can't remember it at all.
Yeah, it was that was just
that was just him and Von Wagner. Von telling him that they are going to be teaming up next week against Pete Dunne and his mate, whatever his name is.
Okay, so I don't care then. The main event.
Hang on. Yeah. Sorry. There was another segment.
Oh shit.
And I didn't like this one at all. The Raquel was with the two tag champs, and Indy and Persia showed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I couldn't really tell what the fuck was going on here, but like, bad acting. That should have been reshot. The bad acting. And I wrote down, people don't act like that. People don't act like this in real life. Yeah. So they should have reshot that. That's the only thing I wanted to say about it.
Fair enough, bro. I agree. I didn't really catch much of it, but I'm just gonna say I agree. NXT Tag Team Championships were on the line in this fucking huge main event full of teams that I don't know of, except for grizzled young veterans. But I was very impressed with all the teams in this one. This was an elimination fatal four-way match on TV. This probably could have been on a takeover, but they gave it to everyone on TV. So it's kind of just showing that they're really going balls to the wall and going hashtag all in on this NXT 2.0. They're trying to give some pay-per-view caliber matches or takeover caliber matches on their TV show. So no, this was a really fun match. I was hoping for Tornado at the start, but you know what? The way they did it, it flowed really fucking well. It was easy to tell who the legal man was. It wasn't a clusterfuck. Everyone got a good time to shine. DJ, I'm going to start with you on this one. What did you think of the main event?
Yeah, I actually thought this was a pretty good match. It didn't get too crazy. I liked the way that it was paced. They didn't get everyone eliminated all at once and then kind of, basically have a standard tag match for most of it. They kind of paced it out throughout so that each team had kind of their own. Look, overall, I'd probably give this another B-. I thought this was a pretty solid main event. It was nothing that was going to set the world on fire, but I thought they did a good job of keeping this thing coherent and keeping this thing snappy. So I enjoyed it.
Very nice. Carl, what do you reckon of the main event?
Me personally, I'm usually quite disinterested in multi-tag team matches, like a four-way tag team. I don't know why. It kind of makes me disinterested. But like for what it was very good. And again, to compare it to AEW, gosh, can you imagine if they had a 14? This would be dives galore. It would be nonsensical.
Mm-hmm.
They need to take notice of stuff like this, and that less can be more. They don't need to fucking go out there and have a highlight reel every single fucking week, because it makes it lose its meaning. It's like having special effects in a movie in every scene. It's like it's not special anymore, is it? It's just the whole movie is a special effect. So and there was one dive thing to the outside. I think it was a moonsault onto two of the guys, but the way that it was set up didn't take too long, and it was realistic, and no one was just standing there for fucking 10, 12 seconds waiting to be jumped on. So yeah, it was good, and good finish, an attack after the match. I don't know who that team was, but they looked like an impressive team, and a nice little happy ending to the show.
You little beauty. It was a fucking fantastic little end of the show. I feel, Imperium coming out to take out MSK was very sick. Imperium are very sick. I'm a very big fan of Walter, even though he wasn't there, but, association. I don't know, man. It was I think it was a great first impression by NXT all around. It was a couple of little questionable little bits there, but I think they got over the finish line okay, and I'm going to give them a thumbs up. How would you guys rate the show? What was your final thoughts? DJ, what was your final thoughts and final rating on this one?
I thought this was a good show. Once again, it's kind of, I'm interested to see what they do next week. Now, this did enough to get me invested. I would give this show a 7 out of
7.
10.
Very nice. Carl,
quite high, but I think it's
what?
High. I will give it a 7 as well. And I've been trying to think of what I was going to say at this point all day. And I still could never really quite put into words the way that I wanted to explain it. So I'm going to try. Enjoyable show. Like the character development, like learning about these characters. But I'm coming to the realization that I don't think there's going to be anything in wrestling that's for me anymore. Despite this being a nice little show and being like, it was fun to watch with you guys. But it's just, I don't know what it is, whether I've been spoiled or something like that, or I'm too bitter of a fan that I just can't seem to let anything be the new thing I like. But I kind of feel like it's not for me, really. It's kind of like they've got a formula there, like Dynamite has a formula. They do the formula a little bit better because at least they thread stories through a show and they have like actual characters and stuff. But there's a formula there that's very predictable in nature. I want unpredictability. I want to feel like I don't know what's going to happen next. It's like this match and then this segment and then this interview and this match, this segment, this interview. Like, I miss the days where it's the show began, promos in the ring, which put stakes on the rest of the show. But then during the show, other things happened which changed those stakes later on. And then this person showed up in a limousine. And then this, like, there's always like these, it was always like a crazy fucking whirlwind of a show. Like, you didn't know what was going to happen next. Things didn't think, oh, this isn't on my format, is something that we like to joke about, but it would be stuff like that. Jim Ross would be like, well, goddamn, I didn't expect this sassafras, this guy to come out right now. You know, things like that. They made the show like within that arena, this crazy little world was living, and all this insanity was taking place within this building. And it's like you grab all of these people, you put them in this building, and this is what happens. This is why, because it's crazy. This is the World Wrestling Federation. Now it's kind of like you have these characters, and they're just doing their match and their interview, and it's just not for me, you know. And I hate saying that, but like I need something that's crazier than this. I need a whirlwind, a soap opera from start to finish. I need drama, you know. There was drama on this show to a certain extent, but not the extent that's going to have me like at the end of the show going, God damn it, no, don't tell me the show's finishing. Please don't tell me the show is over. I don't want to wait another week to see what happens next. That's what I miss most about wrestling is knowing as the show's ending, I'm having a nervous breakdown knowing I have to wait 7 fucking days. Like how I feel when I watch The Walking Dead now. I hate having to wait another week. So that's what I'm not getting from wrestling. That being said, this is a nice show, and I'm glad people out there can enjoy it. I'm sorry for myself that I know that this isn't something that I'm going to be able to sink my teeth into.
Hey man, you never know. They've only 2 weeks into this, 3 weeks into this rebrand. You never know. But I mean, today's wrestling is, look,
it's my
never
problem, bro.
No, it's just never going to compare. Anyway, so I mean, fuck, like,
what would you give it if you gave it a rating out of 10, Jack?
Yeah, just I'm going to go an 8 because it just felt a bit fresh. But you know, I love NXT 2.0, but of course, like, I think we're all hungry for a bit more. I do look forward to watching it, you know, for the next few weeks. It feels fast paced, you know, there's characters everywhere, strong personalities, lots of color. Hey man, I approve so far. But yeah, you're right. Like, it's just wrestling these days, hey?
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yep. But here we are, making a channel about wrestling in 2021. So I don't know, boys. I think that's time to really wrap it up. Really, I mean, I don't really have much to add to it. I don't really have much to say. DJ,
Yeah, I'm done.
Anything to add?
No, I'm finished. That's all I had to say.
All right. So I've been Mr. 55, and I've been joined by Juicy Boy, and I've been joined by the usual host of the most from the West Coast, Karlifornia and Ferry. And we'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you down the road.
See you down the road. Thank you.
We'll see you down the road.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you down the road.